at the height of my career at Sitka Gear. And when I left Sitka Gear after 11 years, we at the same time uprooted from Bozeman and moved back to Oregon, where my family is, and my wife's family is. And that was one of the darkest, hardest moments of my life so far. It was a complete train wreck. And I don't have time to get into it all right now because that podcast is going to come out, and I think I might put it out on this. But the reason it was a train wreck is because I had a huge identity crisis. I didn't know who I was past David Brinker at Sitka Gear. I didn't, I had built my entire life around that. And so we left Bozeman, but that was when my anxiety spiked by 500%, and I went into a deep depression. I was suicidal. It was really bad, guys. So the few years after that, going back to Bozeman frequently, it was like opening a scab, because one of the things that really was hard for me was leaving behind all my friends and my community in Bozeman, some of my best friends, but also like some of the toxic relationships that I had there. There's a lot of history there. But one of the things I noticed is going back this time. So now I'm 5 years later. I've done shitloads of work on my community, on my professional life, on my physical health, my mental health. I feel like I'm 1,000% better than I was in that moment. And so now going back to Bozeman, it doesn't open the scab up much at all. I drove by my old house, and it did make me a little bit sentimental because I could see my little kids in my mind playing at our old house and stuff like that. Bozeman will always be a special place for me. But those moments of suicidal thoughts and deep depression and extreme anxiety and identity crisis and being borderline overweight, unhealthy, like it was a really bad part of my life, but also a turning point that really set me up for success. It's